Shetani ashinde mfululizo. 5,000 types of lies.
The greatness of a nation.
To speak truth to power.
Hi guys, how are you? Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Wilson Ochar and I'll be your host for today at Sikiliza TV. Today we're going to share some sharp political analysis in Kenya political development. And so there was a clip going viral of MP Babu Owino speaking at a Linda Mwananchi party launch.
Going to go thematic. We will hear from members of parliament present here. From Governor Orengo and Senator Sosi, and then we will hear from you as well on your assessment of the report that we are going to present here. So, Honorable Babu, let's start with you. You have 5 minutes, then you invite the next colleagues.
Thank you very much, SG. God is good, and all the time. Thank you. And about the 10-point agenda that was purportedly released yesterday, I want to say that that was just a mere PR exercise. Everything that was released yesterday was all gibberish. It was all balderdash. It was neither important nor detailed. The detailed parts were not important, and the important parts were not detailed. I want to talk about a few issues that I saw. Issues revolving around the 10-point agenda points to a specific thing. Jobs, jobs, jobs. Jobs for the youth, jobs for our women, jobs for our men. This nation, we were promised jobs, that we would get jobs to a tune of around 1 million jobs annually per year. What are we seeing in return? Just PR exercise. With the issue of the jobs, because of lack of jobs, the youth are going on the streets. Because of lack of jobs, our people are suffering. People are opposing this government simply because there are no jobs that we are supposed to give to our youth, men and women in this country. We look at the important things that must be done by this government to create jobs, and they haven't considered any of them. For us to have serious jobs in this nation, we must industrialize. There must be an industrial revolution, industrialization. But the capacity, when we talk about energy as a part of the infrastructure that we have in this nation, the electricity that we produce in this country, the cost is so high. We only produce around 3,800 megawatts that cannot support industrialization in this country. Then the president was telling us that by the year 2040, we should be producing only 2,000 megawatts of electricity by the use of nuclear reactants, nuclear energy. Meanwhile, our neighbor here in Ethiopia, in 2025, launched the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam. That dam alone is producing 5,150 megawatts of electricity. Kenya itself is importing 400 megawatts of electricity from Ethiopia. That dam contains 74 billion cubic meters, the capacity, and was constructed at a cost of only 4.8 billion US dollars. Then we are being told that in the year 2040, we are expecting nuclear energy at a cost of 500 billion Kenya shillings. The cost, the housing that we are doing, affordable housing, per year we are spending 120 billion Kenya shillings. In 5 years, we'll be spending 600 billion Kenya shillings. Meanwhile, affordable housing is a private good, and the role of a government is not to participate in provision of private goods, but to facilitate consumption of merit goods like education and health and also provide public goods like roads. So you wonder, where is our priority? Where did we go wrong as a nation? That what we want to achieve in 2040, Ethiopia has already achieved by 2025. So therefore, when it comes to issue of handling jobs in this nation, we are not ready. Electricity is very costly in this nation as compared to East African countries. So without that proper energy as part of the infrastructure, we cannot create jobs. And because of that, the youth will continue rising and the youth will continue demanding for what is rightfully theirs. Lastly, on the issue of the public debt, we were being told so many things about public debt. Everything that was mentioned about public debt yesterday is completely out of place, is completely mere statements of puff and misrepresentation of facts. Yesterday, when they were talking about that, we know very well that our constitution in Article 229, Sub-Article 4, Paragraph G, gives the Auditor General the mandate to audit the public debt. And it states clearly that every 6 months after every financial year, the Auditor General shall audit our public debt. What happens in our nation? The system, the government does not allow the Auditor General to audit our public debt. What is happening in our public debt? Right now, we have a debt of 12.3 trillion Kenya shillings. Out of that, 6.8 trillion is the domestic debt. Then 5.5 trillion is the foreign debt. Then every year we are paying 2.3 trillion as debt. The problem is not taking a debt. We all know all this from the economists who are here, that a debt is not a problem, but what you do with that debt is what is the problem. We borrow money for personal consumption. We borrow money for recurrent expenditure. We borrow money to loot as a nation. And the moment you loot that money, that debt becomes unproductive debt. The debt that we have is not productive. And therefore, we are not even creating jobs, because the moment we make the debt be productive, then we shall be creating jobs with that debt. A child born today in 2026 is born with a debt of 200,000 Kenya shillings approximately. Therefore, where are we headed as a nation? Because we are still going to borrow more money just to waste. And therefore, my scorecard on a scale of 0 to 10, I want to say that the government has scored -1. Thank you.
Asking questions, did the government fail Kenyans youth on jobs, and is the country heading into the hidden debt crisis? So two important questions that are quickly emerging and going viral in this clip that MP Babu Owino was giving a speech in the Linda Mwananchi launch, and so he seems to be attacking the government's 10-point agenda report, and what he said has definitely sparked a national debate. So we're going to break it down in two segments. The jobs promised, is it a fact or is it a failure? Because MP Babu Owino claims that the government promised to create 1 million jobs every year under the UDA party manifesto, but according to him, that promise has not been fulfilled, and many young people are still unemployed. I'd like you guys to share with me in the comments below, what do you think? Is this a statement of fact, or is Babu Owino making false statements? Let me know how. Definitely let me know what your thoughts are about the unemployment situation in the comments section. And so the debate gets interesting, because according to the government's own report, 640,000 jobs were created under the affordable housing program, 200,000 jobs under climate works, 547,000 Kenyans sent abroad for work, and then over 820,000 youth supported through entrepreneurship programs like Nyota. So the question becomes, are these real sustainable jobs or temporary opportunities being counted as employment? Are Kenyans youth feeling the impact on the ground? So you guys, you can let me know on the comment section what is Sauti ya Kenya saying. Let me know what the ground is saying. I'll appreciate you. Let me know in the comments so I can share with all the viewers what the current situation is going on in Kenya. And so the other segment we're going to break it down is about industrialization, because Babu Owino seems to be arguing that the real solution of unemployment is industrialization, and for that to happen, he seems to say that Kenya must lower the cost of production, especially electricity. And he gives a very good example of Ethiopia built a dam that is producing about 5,000 megawatts of electricity at a cost of only $4.8 billion. Yet Kenya is importing 400 megawatts of this electricity from Ethiopia. And meanwhile, Kenya is planning to produce only 2,000 megawatts through nuclear energy by 2040. So we are not even there yet, but our neighbor Ethiopia is producing almost 2.5 times of what we're planning to produce in 2040 at an estimated cost of $500 billion. So the argument is very simple. Why wait until 2040 and spend that much money when cheap alternatives already exist? You know, is Kenya choosing the most cost-effective path to power industrial growth? And so you guys let me know in the comment section, what are your thoughts, what are your answers to these questions, because many Kenyans seems to be discussing this Babu Owino speech at Linda Mwananchi party launch. And of course, people are paying close attention to their candidacy. Will we see Babu Owino being the deputy president of Edwin Sifuna, or how will that ticket look like when they finally get this endorsement? If you watch my previous video, please watch that to follow out on what was happening on their website. They seem to be looking to restore that website so that they can continue collecting their signatures. And so on the other hand is that the government argues it is expanding last mile electricity connectivity, stabilizing power for long-term growth, investing in diverse energy sources. And so who has the stronger economic argument here? You know, so you guys let me know in the comment section, because the government in its 10th agenda report was very specific on how it's trying to meet this energy demand that the current Kenya industries are looking in, that we are even importing some of the electricity. So you guys let me know in the comment section. I'll appreciate your comments. And so the other section that Babu Owino seems to be arguing about was the public debt, transparency or secrecy. So Babu Owino was raising concern about public debt and whether there's transparency in this public debt. And so he alleges that the government is not allowing full audit of public debt, and that the true amount that Kenya owes may not be fully accounted for. And so this is raising a very serious claim, because according to the government, Kenya has been restructuring its debt. You know, it's been conducting Eurobond buybacks, and it has been even receiving credit rating upgrade from Moody's. So the contradiction is very clear there. Of course, you guys can let me know what are your thoughts. Is Kenya managing its debt responsibly, or is there a lack of transparency in how debt is being tracked and audited? So if you guys, I know a lot of you are working in the government section, those who are working in central bank, those who are working in the closely managing Kenya's debt, I'm sure you're watching our video. Please let us know what are your thoughts, so that we can share with Kenyans widely and know what really is going on. Of course, this freedom of information, we are preview to get information that is publicly available. And so the other section is the political message behind the speech of Babu Owino is not just economic, it also is political, because they seem to be offering as the favorite party to vote for in the upcoming 2027 election. So Kenyans need to be well aware that any statements that are emerging anytime from now to 2027, they're all meant to be persuasive. They're all meant to woo you and persuade you to be on a particular side. And so you have your right to do your own research, of course, and follow up and see who's making the factual statements there. And of course, if you have the answers to it already, you can share with us so that we can also share with the rest of the viewers. And so the argument suggests that the current system is not working and that a different leadership approach is needed, which is the Linda Mwananchi party, and that the alternative lies within movements such as that and Linda Mwananchi. And is this genuine policy criticism, or is this early campaign messaging for 2027? And that's a very important question to ask, is was this speech really criticizing the 10 agenda report, or was it really also sneaking in their campaign messaging, in that they'll deliver in those promises that were given in the 10-point agenda report? So of course, you guys can also let me know about your views in the comment section, so that we can know what is the majority of Kenyans thinking about this, because my views may be different from your views, and we're here to share our views. So let's comment there in the comment section. I'll appreciate that. And so the bigger picture analysis here is that we are witnessing is early political positioning ahead of the next election cycle, because like I said before, Linda Mwananchi seems to be launching their own party. They seem to be positioning themselves to be on the ballot by collecting endorsements, by seeking validation from all Kenyans. And so on one side, the government is presenting data and achievements, highlighting reforms, jobs, and economic recovery. But on the other side, the opposition leaders such as Linda Mwananchi are questioning the impact, delivery, and transparency. And in the middle is the Kenyan citizen like us, especially the youth. And we must decide what is reality. And that's very important. That's why I'm saying we all are responsible of doing our research. Everyone will present their arguments. Everyone will present their manifesto. But at the end of the day, mwishowe ni sisi ndio tutaamua ni pande gani ndio msema kweli pale. Finally, we have the engagement. So the questions for the viewers, for you guys to let me know, has the government created enough jobs for Kenyan youth? You know, if you feel that you've benefited from any Kenyan government job creation initiative, please let us know in the comment section how that is going like. And if you also, do you agree with Babu Owino's arguments on electricity and industrialization? That's a very pertinent question. What do you guys think? What is the solution to unemployment, to gain employment for the youth? What is the solution? Can we help the government? Can we help Linda Mwananchi really get this point clear on how we can solve the employment issue in our country? And so do you trust the government handling of public debt? That's very important. Do you trust the sentiments of MP Babu Owino about public debt? And so it's very important question to debate about the public debt, so that we can have transparency, so that we can have clear understanding of what is expected of us, so that we can be fully aware of the development, the economic development of our country. And so the last question is this the beginning of 2027 political battle? Yes, it is. I believe it is. And so this could be the two, they can position these 2 points about job creation and about public debt and it could be going head to head. Who do you think is going to win? So let me know in the comment section. Of course, like this video, share it with your fellow Kenyans, subscribe to my channel Sikiliza TV. Guys, I need 500 subscribers to start monetizing my account. I'll appreciate you guys if you can subscribe, share it, tell it to all your friends, and I'll appreciate you guys for supporting me. So thank you so much for tuning in. Again, my name is Wilson Ochar. I've been your host at Sikiliza TV, and I'll appreciate you if you can tune in my next video. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye bye.